Welcome to the Black Sparrow Media Internet Broadcast Network.
You are listening to Linux in the Ham Shack. LHS is a podcast about Linux, open source, and amateur radio for everyone. Now here are your hosts, Cheryl, W5MOO, and Bill, NE4RD.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. You're joining us for episode 625 of Linux in the Ham Shack, the most terrific amateur radio podcast on the internet. This week, we're telling you about what we've been up to, along with chatting with Sebastián Delmont KI2D about his latest software adventure. But before we get into that, we should introduce ourselves. For our silent key Russ, K5TUX, I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NE4RD, and yes, welcome back. It's it hasn't been very long since the last episode, since we did a post Jamboree episode, but we are back on schedule, and we're here on a Sunday night recording live. So hopefully we get some more people in here to join us. But for now, let's find out what Cheryl's been up to this week.
Well, Cheryl's not had a whole lot, but she's had a whole lot. So for food this week, it's been so miserably hot here, but I decided I needed to start putting forth some effort into my own life, involving food anyway, so I hit the kitchen. One meal was my convoluted version of what Outback Steakhouse, which is in the U.S., calls their Alice Springs chicken, but I mixed together cream cheese, shredded cheddar, roasted garlic paste, chives, and stuffed it into a pocket I cut into the chicken. I wrapped that in bacon and slathered it with a homemade honey mustard glaze and shoved it in the oven to bake, which it probably would have baked quicker outside as hot as it was. And with that, I had some butternut squash and mashed potatoes. And then I did a knockoff McRib sandwich, which was dripping in barbecue sauce, just like you'd get from McDonald's, with a dill pickle and onion slices and a handful of tater tots. And last night I fixed pizza with chicken, sun-dried tomatoes, mushrooms, roasted red peppers, goat cheese, a tiny bit of mozzarella for that cheese pull, and a splash of balsamic vinegar. And tonight I fixed steak that I marinated in olive oil, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, lemon juice, and some garlic and basil. And with that I had some goat cheese, which I needed to use up, that I stuffed into some pepperdew peppers that wrapped in bacon, and a baked potato.
So we're not talking McDonald's here, right?
No, we're definitely not talking McDonald's. I actually decided to get my butt in gear and start cooking again. So
nice. Yeah.
So for computer stuff this week, Bill's probate and checking out Sebastian's new program. The radios, just because Bill got them hooked back up doesn't mean that I found the time to turn them on. Or probably the inclination. I don't know. I'm working on that. And then lots of things are happening on the quote unquote home front here. Things that needed done for years that we never got around to, but I have to get them done because Russ is no longer here to dispatch to fetch things from areas that aren't wheelchair accessible. And part of this was because Bill planted a seed in my brain back in the winter. And Bill, I've got my notes here. I'm sure Bill's going to be shocked the next time he's here, because he's been gone from the house exactly 1 week and things have changed drastically over those 7 days. But I did send him a video earlier, so he kind of knows what's going on. So
yeah, I saw the rock work there in the driveway. That's really exciting, and it's going to be really cool to finally have those containers there.
Yeah.
So you can start organizing all that stuff that's in the farmhouse. So
yeah.
As for me, well, my wife has had some dental surgery, and she's on soft foods for like 2 weeks. So we haven't been doing anything exciting for food except for trying various flavors of mashed potatoes, which are really starting to upset my stomach. So I'm trying to avoid those. And she's actually gone to trying these baby foods aren't that bad.
Some of them are really good, actually. So,
because we kind of like sugar-free stuff in the house anyway. So like the baby foods have like less salt, less sugar, and everything else. And I got her trying a cream of wheat, which she doesn't remember eating as a child, but I remember eating lots of it. I'm like, it's like you just swallow it. You don't have to chew it or anything. It's like no.
It's like paste.
No effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of culinary fun stuff going on there. Computer stuff, I started cleaning the garage, and I'm kind of getting prepped to actually do everything I promised to do for the last couple of years,
Ooh.
which is move stuff. So I've purposely not been hooking up everything I disconnected from Jamboree, and in hopes that I can rebuild my shack table and switch these two desks out that I have where I have all of my gear stashed. So the only computer that's semi-normal is this one that I record with, and the one I technically still have hooked up to the radio, which was great because I used it to test the program that we're going to talk about tonight with. Radio, yep, nope, nothing new there except for the testing I did today. And other than that, been busy with the theater. We had a rental that came in, and they were playing some good old throaty, loud music. A lot of screaming. Not quite as intense as the night back there in Springfield, but they were definitely trying. There was definitely some effort being put in there, and I'm surprised at how loud they can get in our little tiny black box, which is what they rented at our theater. And I think we did about we only had they were only there from like 2:30 to about 7. I think the last band finished up because we were just like the afternoon bands, and they had the night stuff going on at another venue. And I think we did probably like $500-600 in concession sales. So
Nice.
not too bad. Like some people were drinking, but not a lot. But it was worthwhile. It was kind of fun to just listen, and it was perfect volume listening from outside in the lobby because it was so loud in there that you needed
Earplugs
plugs.
are your friends.
Yeah, I definitely had to don some plugs because they were like, we need a cable for this. And I'm like, that's probably up in the light room, which I don't want to go up to because it's loud in there. But yeah, I went back to the shop and got my earmuffs and came right out front. So, yeah, a lot of fun. And I was just showing some pictures for those of you that are that will maybe come into the live show and see the chat room. You'll see pictures of fire. That's not my house. It's a couple doors down and across the street. We've had some excitement here. We had a fire on Friday across the street and decided to rekindle itself this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And you'll see the subsequent pictures available there. Anyway, we are very happy to have back in the podcast house here Mr. Sebastián Delmont KI2D. He was last with us on our episode 573. So it has been a few episodes. What is that? 57 episodes or so, like that. He was talking to us about his Ham2K portable logger PoLo project, and I'm sure everybody has seen this and used it perhaps for their activation for Parks on the Air or perhaps Summits on the Air, what have you. So for people who have not been using Ham2K or have missed that episode or are living under a rock somewhere, Sebastián, why don't you come in here and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing over the last year since you came and talked to us about this project.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. I love really being here in the show. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller, second-time caller, and I really appreciate the invitation. So I think I was here when PoLo was just getting started, my portable logger for Android and iOS, and it's an open source app. That was probably the main reason I was in the show, because it doesn't run on Linux. And so since then, I've been working my ass off trying to make it a better logger. I've added lots of features, support for contests, support for a dozen programs, not just Parks on the Air, but like lakes and lagoons on the air, worldwide flora and fauna, towers on the air, bunkers on the air, and a bunch more. But the biggest change has been that as of the beginning of July, I am now working. I'm now making a living writing free and open source apps. well, let me rephrase that. I'm not making a living yet. I'm working full time on making free and open source apps, trying to make a living off of it. It's something that has been in my mind for like I've enjoyed creating PoLo and building the community around all the Ham2K projects. And I had so many other ideas in my head that I wanted to focus on that I was thinking and toying with the idea of going full time. And well, life happened, and I was presented an opportunity to make a quick decision and decided to go give it a shot. So the last 5 weeks, I've been heads down coming up with the next generation of PoLo. Because the main thing people have been asking for, the main reason why they didn't use PoLo was that a lot of people don't like logging on their phones. They want to log on their laptops with a real keyboard and a real screen and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm here today in the Linux in the Ham Shack program to announce the first time ever Ham2K Logger for Windows. Wait, no.
Oh no,
I got that wrong. No, it's actually, well, it is it's available for Linux, it's available for Windows, Macs, Android and iOS, and even web. I did the thing that developers that I tell all the people never to do, which was the big rewrite. The last 5 weeks I started from scratch, and I rewrote all of not rewrote. I built a logger from scratch with all the lessons I'd learned building PoLo. This one is called HaLo for Ham2K Logger. Couldn't go for anything simpler. And I rebuilt it from scratch using Flutter and Dart as the main language. And Flutter has a great multi-platform support. So all the platforms are first-class platforms in Ham2K HaLo. The Linux port has all the same features as the other ports, plus minus what the platform supports. Right now, I'm going through some headaches trying to get embedded HTML views in the Linux build. It's a minefield of libraries and what's supported on which distros and whatnot. But I'm gonna get it to work. But it's the same app running everywhere, from your phone to your Linux laptop, and Windows for your friends that want to use Windows, and Mac for the rest of us. And I'm super excited because it's coming out fantastic. I've reached the point where it has not exactly, but pretty much all the features that PoLo had on iPhone and Android, and I've started to expand beyond that. The number 2 feature beyond support for desktops was people wanted cat control, and that's already working in the app. Although you can download the app right now. If you go to ham2k.com, there's links there where you can download the app. It's a very early alpha. It's not so much that things are broken, although some things are broken, but that things are changing quickly. So if you download it now and it doesn't do the thing you want it to do, it's likely to be there in a week. And in the process, things will have changed where they are. So if you're the kind of people who get annoyed when they move your cheese, then wait a couple of months before installing Ham2K. But if you want to be in the bleeding edge and the exciting world of where I think I'm building a logger that goes beyond where any of the existing loggers are, and I think it's exciting to see it grow. So I invite everybody to go and try it.
Yeah. So before we get into questions on the logger, I have to circle back to lakes and lagoons on the air. Was that like Lauloda or
Yoda? I think
Yoda.
it's Yoda.
Which
it's
is
a program that started out
right?
of double L. Yes, it started out of Chile. Yep, it started out of Chile in like February or so, and it's been growing. People love it. It's very complementary to Parks on the Air because often parks have lakes or are next to lakes.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
So it's and like the guy building it sent me a message saying, "Hey, we're building this project. Do you want to support it in Ham2K?" And like the next day, it was part of the build. I built Ham2K the PoLo from the ground up to be extensible and to make it easy to add programs like this.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of those times where it became, yeah, we have this new program. Okay, it's in, done. So yeah, Yoda, Lakes on the Air is the new hotness.
Nice. So I have obviously installed this, and I know I believe Cheryl, you have installed this too, right?
Yes, I have.
So, and I've also checked out. So, being it's a Flutter app, it works everywhere, including the web. So there's actually
Yeah.
a web link as well that you can run this logger in, and I believe it. I haven't even tried doing cat control in there because you just gave me the secret keywords to open up the experimental support for cat control.
The app. So the I've the things that are moving fast right now and breaking, I put them behind some secret keywords to enable them.
Okay.
So that
Yeah, that makes
if
sense.
if a mogul downloads it and tries to do something and it breaks, they're not going to complain because they're not going to find the breaking parts. So there are some secret keywords. I can type the keywords for you in the Discord chat, so people, if they're there, they can see it. But
Yes.
there's a couple of things. If you have the app open, for a new thing it has is a command bar. So if you type Control key, it
Yep.
opens a place where you can type a call sign or any of the commands in the app, and they'll do some of those feature flags that get toggled.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type in the chat the secret keyword to enable cat control. And if you're
Right.
listening and you want to find out these keywords, you can also go to the Ham2K Discord. Ask there. We have a test crew channel where pretty much anyone who's willing to take the risk is invited, and that's where we discuss all the secret keywords as we work on them. I've been able to use the web version to do cat control over serial ports because the web the browsers now support doing USB serial.
Yes.
I can control a 705 using serial. I can control a Yaesu 891 using serial from the web. The desktop versions can do Wi-Fi. I'm working on adding support for Bluetooth. So Bluetooth is just a serial port if you configure on the host OS, so it should work. And
Yeah.
I'm slowly adding support of more and more radios.
And that looks pretty good. So let's before we get into that kind of level of detail, I mean, you did mention that the original PoLo logger was open source, and now you're mentioning, making this a full-time gig for yourself. So is the new logger still open source?
It is going to be open source. I
Okay.
haven't made the repo public right now because there's so much trashing. It's
Okay.
embarrassing. So I'm waiting for the progress to stabilize a little bit. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably make the repo public. But the intent is that it's going to be fully open source and free, just like PoLo was. I'm a big believer in that model, and I'm going to follow it with HaLo.
And what kind of
this
license
next.
file are we talking about?
It's under the Mozilla license.
Okay.
And when I did PoLo, I spent some time researching. I usually just work under MIT.
Yeah.
But I needed a good license to build. I need to build an app that goes into the distribution channels on the app stores.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires a little bit of closed source components.
Oh,
so because I need to, or for example, the app lets you subscribe to our cloud service. All the payment bits, I want to keep those private.
Right.
I wanted a license that was good for combining public and private components. And Mozilla, obviously, when they decided to launch their browsers, kind of like thought about that, and their license plays very well there. So it's easy to combine to mix and match private files with public files and come up with a final distribution that doesn't violate the license.
Right, especially when you're dealing with app stores where you have to have certain
Yeah,
things that you do not have control over their code and stuff like that, and you just have to use them to
yeah,
distribute and everything else. Yeah, it's kind of important to have something compatible that you can still have your code available, and perhaps some of those bits that they can
yeah.
see. So that is really great, and I noticed when installing. So let's talk a little bit about availability. We kind of jokingly said Windows, but yeah, Windows is available. It's for an x64 platform, so you're not supporting Windows 32-bit. Hopefully, never.
No, but I'm supporting Windows ARM.
Okay, I don't see it in the download list.
It's not in the download, but I've been trying to get it to build automatically.
Yeah, I bet.
And the plan is to support it. I do support Linux on ARM.
Yes.
That took some effort to get working, but it's there. So I have an Intel, like an x84 build and an ARM build of Linux.
And they're both app
Right,
images.
right now they're app image. I'm open for discussion about what other formats and distros and packages are useful for people, especially if the discussion comes with offers of helping me figure out how to get it done. Um, right now, I went with app image because it was kind of like a good. It'll work on many places as is.
Yeah, you're almost
Uh,
guaranteed it'll work on every system. So that's
yes.
a very safe bet. And for people that are familiar with how, like, Mac OS does it the same way, you have a single file that sort of is the
Yeah.
components, all the components bundled into a single executable file that technically you can look into and stuff like that. So it's not magic mystery of how an app image works versus like a DMG or something like that. It is literally it's kind of like a jar file, like for Java, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's an app image version. There's some problems right now in some Linux distros, or it's more about the window manager.
Mhm.
The app, I'm trying to make it look nice. So the window controls, I want to incorporate it into the frame of the app instead of just having a regular window frame around my app. And that sounds like a good idea, but it's painful when you have to deal with all the different window managers in Linux to
And
get
I
it to
have one
work
of the
nicely.
weirder ones on my system, so I'm actually running it in Hyperland,
Yeah.
which doesn't have
So I
minimize,
would,
maximize, and close.
then it doesn't show anything for you, right? It just shows the.
Nope. Nope, it does show it. It's sort of shrunk into the screen, and I will
Yeah. I
I
love a
will make a
screenshot of those
screenshot.
things too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send me a screenshot.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing that the beauty of open source is. I mean, I don't expect you to fix it and send me the code patches,
Yeah.
but I need the help of people running all those different Windows Linux distros
Mhm.
to make sure it works well everywhere. But I'm willing to put the effort to get it there. Um, I want all the Linux platforms to be first class citizens in the HaLo ecosystem.
Yeah, and I wouldn't consider how it looks on my particular system any kind of deterrent whatsoever. So, I mean, having run this for a while, I'm used to things not being 100% perfect. It
Yeah,
requires a lot of tweaking and stuff like that to have the flexibility I want for my system. And I've gotten used to the peculiarities of how it actually
that's the price you
operates.
pay.
The are so many choices, because with Linux you have so many choices. We kind of have our own set of problems that
Yep.
are mostly self-created. Because it's like I want to use Mate, or I want to use Hyperland, and I want to use Arch, and I don't want a flat pack, and I want this, and I
Yeah.
want that. It's like it opens us up to having so many possibilities. Because of that flexibility, we have weird problems, perhaps,
Yeah.
but no, the logger looks great. So I went through like your initial when you go into the logger itself, and I'm sure this will be the same experience that everybody has, and including the website. So when you go into the website for the very first time, you're launching it, and it's probably saving everything in the browser storage, so you don't have to
Yeah.
repeat that. And anybody that's used a web app, you're pretty familiar with that. I'm hoping, so we don't have to
And I
explain
mean
how that works.
the web version of HaLo is literally running SQLite on the
Okay.
browser. It's using a WebAssembly version of SQLite, and it's running it on the browser and storing the database locally on your browser application store.
So are the
It's
other
not,
versions using SQLite as well?
yeah, I use SQLite as my main database
Okay.
because it's super robust. I mean, it's going to be really, really hard to lose a QSO on file corruption.
Right.
This SQLite is really solid in that regard.
Acid compliance and everything else. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the app does have, I built a cloud sync service. So as long as you're online, the app is always syncing the data too. In case there's any data loss, it'll be synced to the cloud. You can opt out if you want, but it's a good backup service to cover your behind in
Right.
case of if your phone dies or if you lose it or any of that. As long as you have a data connection, it will sync and we can recover it.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So you're syncing with SQLite data, basically. You're syncing the SQL.
No, the sync is
history.
a protocol I built. No, the sync is a custom made protocol to do it at the QSO level, not at the database or the file or the operation. And it's meant to also support multi-device operation of the same activity. So
So
that's something that's
you
going to come,
replay the QSO transactions in the sync.
something like that. But if you run multiple, you can have 3, 4 devices logged in on the same station,
Oh, well,
and the
that's
sync will
interesting.
support that. And even each of the devices can bring in their own operator, for example, and some local data. So it's meant to support things like field day or club activities with multiple devices. And that's something that now with HaLo we're gonna try to build a first class way of sharing activity, like the field day scenario. I want you to be able to arrive at field day with your phone. The site manager will tell you, hey, scan this QR code, and now the whole activity will show up on your phone, and he will give you permission to log on the operating position 5, which is a 40-meter band radio. And
Oh,
when he does that, you get control of the radio frequency, cat control of the radio frequency without having to do anything else. And you start logging, and it all goes to the club log, to the shared activity log, and all of that, like without having to worry about networking or as long as you have a data connection, or we'll build an offline mode if you don't have a data connection, that as long as you have some kind of connectivity in the site, it'll work. That's not there yet, but it's one of the things I want to have in place for hopefully for winter field day.
right. So you'll have a connotation
Yeah.
of handling the operator position as well. So like the operator call sign versus the actual station call sign.
Yeah, and that's something that I mean, PoLo always had that distinction. You
Mhm.
said the station, you said the operator call sign, because I've used it to do lots of special event activations, for example. I've also used PoLo for multi contesting, and it has a couple of features that let you define different operating positions. Like I can say that my phone is operating position 1 and my friend's tablet is position 2. We're both logging on the same log, but if we put ourselves in a frequency and spot ourselves, it'll go as November 2 Yankee / OP1 or OP2. So that on the
Okay.
spotting services, you don't override each other by spotting with the same call.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So let's kind of go through like this things that people are gonna see when they first launch this, because sometimes we're not a visual podcast, so we have to
Yeah.
kind of walk through it. So when you first launch it, you're gonna see like sort of a welcome screen that it's stuff that you have here, and it's just like welcome to Ham2K Logger. You have an option to answer a few questions, which they're very few questions, or you can skip it and go right in. But
Yeah.
like the questions you're gonna get are, what is my call sign, which I think most people can answer, and you
And
have
if
like a favorite activity after that and you have like a shortened list of what's available, which is a very short list comparative to all of the features that you actually have in
it's
it.
like it's basically, do you like POTA? Do you like summits on the air, or do you like flora and fauna?
Right.
Just so that the app sets up the right extensions and downloads the right files at the beginning, so that it works off the gate for you.
Right. And then you have the next option here is data and privacy. And this is probably what most people might react to because this is talking about telemetry data and what that actually is being used for. So you have an option to opt out of shared usage data and shared operation data. Can you just describe like a little bit about those two different bits of data and what you're collecting?
The way I see it is that the shared application data is, let me collect error reports, let me collect application events to see how people are using it. And I actually, and let me collect information about your operation, but in a way that I'm not going to make public with anybody else. So if you accept the shared application data, I also connect you to the sync service automatically.
Oh,
and
okay.
I took that liberty because I wanted to cover as many people as possible in the sync service, and so I didn't want people to come back and tell me, oh, I lost all my operation because my phone died. And did you pick the sync service option? No, where was that? So that's one of the main reasons I do it there. And the share operation data is because I've always wanted to share that your operation data publicly. Like
Right.
imagine making a dashboard of where all Ham2K users are activating right now. I haven't done anything with that yet, but that's the main use of the shared operation activity data would be to build some public but anonymized display of what activity is happening and things like that. I don't share the data with anybody. I only use it to develop the app better, to get error reports automatically and things like that. I don't sell anything. It's not my business model, and it's not like there's anybody out there buying ham radio location data. It's the market's not big enough
Right.
for it to be worth it. So yeah, but I'm very privacy conscious and mindful. So I offer those questions up front so people can opt out, and it only defaults to the public information is off by default, and is only the app event and error reporting that's enabled by default. But if you can disable it there, and nothing will get reported.
Yeah, and that's great. And just to remind everybody, you know, when you're when you get something for free, you're generally the product.
Yeah.
It's sort of how it works. We're all kind of used to it by now. You know, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. But yeah, it definitely helps everybody else out. And considering this is open source, and I know like there's Linux distros that have the same problem because they have telemetry that they collect, and it freaks people out in security and everything else like that.
Yeah.
It does essentially help the author improve the app and the team of developers and stuff like that, because they get those crash reports and perhaps stack traces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And hopefully know like PII beyond, like, they might know your machine or something like that. Hopefully that's all scrubbed at some point. That doesn't need to be there. And once you get through that, you're kind of dumped into the logger itself, which is pretty straightforward. It doesn't it doesn't appear like it has anything else except for the ability to create a new operation and a quick lookup, which is not the same as the control key, right? Or the control K or the Apple K.
So it kind of has the same features.
Okay.
The quick lookup, you can use it to enter the commands and shortcuts. You can use it to enter a call sign, and it will do the QRZ or the Ham Q2H or the call sign lookup feature. It's available right there on the homepage. And you mentioned, I mean, one of the biggest differences that PoLo and now HaLo have with other loggers is that it was written around the idea of discrete operations.
Okay.
In some other apps, they call it like creating a new log or something like that. Here,
Yeah.
I just see it as you want to start an operation, which is I want to go out and activate a park. That's an operation. I want to go out and participate in this contest. That's an operation. There's no real limit. You could say, I want to go out and do a road trip for a whole week, activating 15 different parks. That's an operation. You can do that with PoLo as a single operation if you want. And when you create an operation, you then tell the app what activities you want in that operation. Because it's also not about I want to create a POTA log because I'm going to a park. In PoLo, you can do all of the activities, everything that PoLo lets you do, and that includes POTA, SOTA, YOTA, the North America QSO party coming this weekend, or your state QSO parties, or CQ worldwide contest. You can do all of those things at the same time. It's
Right.
it's chewing gum and walking at the same time. If it makes sense for you to do it, you can do it with. I want you to be able to log it as easily as possible in PoLo and HaLo. So if you click on that button that says new operation, you will be presented with basically, since you just opened the app and you said yes to POTA, all you'll see is POTA references. So if you give it permission to find your location, it'll show you the nearest parks. And you select the parks you're activating, usually one, but if you're a twofer, you can select two of them. And you click the check mark to accept the changes, and that's it, you're logging.
Yeah, and it's very simple, and I like the fact that you can pull for your location and it finds like mine. I see a bunch of parks and everything else like that here. If you do happen to just like, oh, I'm scared, I don't know what I'm doing, and you hit the back button or you hit the back arrow at the very top, you end up with these general operation entries in your browser logger or in your other. I believe it does the exact same thing if I do it. I'm doing it in both the Linux and the other, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go in here, I'm scared. And then I end up with an extra general any 4RD general operation, which you can kind of go in and then again do that same query by clicking the general operation and selecting what kind of operation you actually want to run, which is really cool. A thing I would suggest probably to start with is kind of hit that gear icon at the beginning before you start doing operation, because the gear icon is where you have all of the other things kind of set up, which is not only where you set your original call sign, but also like additional information you have that you want to attach to that call sign, because it doesn't automatically fill your personal information out there, like your name, your email, if you're running this operation as a specific club or your section that you're going to be in or something like that. This would be your generic setup, I'm assuming, for just generic station profile. Your station configuration, which would show up if you have cat control enabled, which we've already talked about, the very secret command for cat control. You'll see the station configuration option in that gear window as well, which I have connected mine to a different computer running FL rig, and that works flawlessly. Just so you know, it's been tested.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. I was surprised. Like, wow, I didn't even know I opened that port on that box. Like it instantly connected. It was working.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it says running my FT450D on the desk here. So you also have in the settings, you have like common preferences. This is where you would change your language, theme mode, whether you want it to be dark or follow the system, light or dark. And I haven't looked at the light mode because it's just, I don't look at light modes.
If you do Control Shift D, it'll toggle between light and dark.
Okay, it's pleasant. You definitely have some pleasant colors and pleasant fonts here for sure.
That's a little that's a little command I added for developer comfort. It makes it easy for me to test the different colors quickly.
Yeah, and the rendering looks really good. I'm always pleased with how Flutter does its rendering. It does a pretty good job.
Yep.
Font scale, layout density, which I'm assuming is how it packs the controls, because you're probably taking advantage of control stacking and lists
Yeah.
and grids and stuff like that. Some of our audience obviously is developers, so you're familiar with like cheating grid layouts and getting controls in there and just having it flow naturally, because you don't really know the device that it's going to be on. You don't know the size of the window it's going to be on, but you
I mean,
have
yeah.
it take its best guess.
The challenge I have is that I'm building an app that should work on a, a small iPhone device that also has the font size bumped up, so
Oh,
that the actual
for blind people,
and
yes.
I also want it to work well when you have somebody with a 38-inch monitor, like curved, with I don't know 8,000 pixels wide, and you have a huge screen to fill up with things. Right? I'm slowly building it with enough flexibility so that you can adjust that scale, adjust the density. Like if you're going to be running it on Windows and using your mouse, you can increase the density and have like smaller lists. That feature is yet not fully implemented, but it changes some parts of the app already.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some features that come from PoLo, like the lefty mode, for example, that changes the ordering of certain fields in the logging screen so that the submit button is on the left side instead of the right. If you're using it with your left hand, it's easier to tap. Little things
Oh,
like that.
yeah. That makes sense.
Um, uh, and you can probably see here that the list of settings is large.
Mhm.
If you go into all settings, I'm building it with the flexibility in mind, that I'm going to end up adding hundreds of different settings to please people here and there. So I
Yeah, and
want to
you
be
can
able
kind
to do
of
that without making it complicated for other people, for the normal users.
right. And for the crazy browser users that have been into their all flags thing, that's kind of the same
Yeah,
kind of experience, that when you go in and look at all the flags in your Chrome browser or what have you, yeah, you
yeah,
can really get into the weeds, into developer settings and stuff like that, which is really cool. So I like the fact that you have a common preferences, which kind of surfaces the things that most people
the-
would want to change,
yeah,
which would affect like layout, font scale, distant units and stuff like that. It also exposes privacy information as well, which links to your terms of service and privacy policy. But when we get down to the, I'm going to Control Shift D back to dark mode. So you get to the all settings. It's nice. You also have the search window, so you can change and look for something very specific, because this list will be growing. Obviously, like you said,
yeah.
you'll
And
have a
even
lot of
if
details.
one thing that's new, if you go into an operation
Mhm.
and you want to change, you can be on the call sign field and you type set left and press set space left and press enter. It'll open all the settings that match the word left. So you can switch lefty
Oh,
mode right
nice.
there
Yeah.
in the operation. I mean, a lot of the things in these apps are things that have annoyed me in using my own apps or in using other apps. And one of those is, say, I'm using N1MM, about to start a contest, and I can't find where the heck is that setting to enable auto posting of spots and to change the interval of auto posting. It's in one of the 32 menus somewhere.
Right.
That's the main reason I added that feature, to quickly search settings and jump to them without having to remember what the exact setting was, for example.
Right. That's pretty cool. Let's continue down the settings path here. So we have the lo-fi cloud sync. So this is where you were talking about the syncing, and I see,
Yes.
yeah, I see like right now I have an anonymous account. But it does have a hash on it, so must have some level of tracking, even though I'm an anonymous account. So all I need.
It has an ID. It has an ID that identifies the device and the keys when you upload them. That's the and you can configure an email and verify an email, so that if you lose your device or you want to set it up somewhere else, you use that email to authenticate.
And then you can
It also
also link
supports.
with other ones, so other accounts. Yeah.
You can link with other accounts. So if you already have an account in another device, you can link by scanning a QR code. So the app will show a QR code. You go into the phone where you have PoLo running. You scan that, and it will confirm. You get asked to confirm if you want to connect the two, or you can do it by sending a verification email and verification codes, so that you can have two devices sharing the same log data.
Yeah. So so we're out of Lo-Fi Cloud Sync now. We're down into accounts and services, and this looks like how you do call sign lookup. We have the options of QRZ.com and Soda Watch. Is there going to be plans to have POTA app, or is that like
I
something
mean,
separate?
if POTA, so that screen, that part of the settings is where all the extensions you have enabled can list the accounts they need.
Oh, okay.
And we use the host OS secure storage services to store your credentials, so they're not stored in a clear file or anything like that. They're stored as safely as they can be, even if your QRZ credential is probably misstored in so many other places that you should not use it for anything else. So those are stored securely. There are services like Summits on the Air. They use OAuth, which is perfect. We handle their OAuth flow. If POTA ever opens up their API to authenticated calls, it will have a POTA account in that window.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've just kind of been playing around with. So we're talking about the differences between the accounts and services and the features and extensions. And if you happen to go and find an extension that requires another account or service, you might have to pop back. So I think I did the Parks and Peaks one, and
Parks
then
and Peaks requires a login. Yeah,
a separate account. So, so it might feel like these probably should be reversed in order if you're doing things in order.
Yeah, no, that's a
it's a user experience thing, right?
Yep. Like I said, early alpha.
Yeah. No, it's kind of cool. I was just kind of bouncing back and forth to see if I can get it to be mad at me or something like that. Yeah, and then you have data files, which apparently you're syncing for probably the features and extensions as well to grab those files like Summit names, POTA names, Soda names. So as they get updated,
this lets you update those files right before you're going to. So we download the entire list of POTA parks. So if you go and operate at a park that doesn't have cell service, we can still tell you what the park number is. And when somebody over the air tells you what park they're in, you can still see their park name. So all of those databases are stored locally on your device, and you can refresh it. They get refreshed about once a week automatically, but you can refresh it manually if you feel like you want it.
Yeah, and you have and then finally the About page, which has all of the information about the project and all the necessary links and stuff like that. So when we go in and we create an actual operation, so I just kind of just created one here real quick, and so I have a Parks on the Air operation, and I'm just typing in a call. So I'm going to type in Cheryl. I'm waking her up, right, Cheryl? You're awake there. When I type in
what?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm typing her call sign, and I see it does a lookup. Now I will say, like I don't know if it, because you have updated the version since you initially sent this to me. I noticed that I did have it hesitate when I stopped typing a call sign once, and it kind of locked up the keyboard. And I don't know if you've changed that since then, because I haven't been able to reproduce that. Reproduce that, where it was like definitely trying to connect and look up the call sign before I went and moved on. And
and if you haven't entered your QRZ credentials, it's using Ham2K which is a free service, but it's horribly slow.
that could be it.
I think I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it because it's really not worth the pain.
Right. We also have the hamdb, right, .org.
HamDB is another one. I forget which one.
Probably
one of the two
slow.
is free. The other one is free but requires an account.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to just do my own lookup based on the FCC database for US call signs. which is what these free services offer anyways.
Right.
And if you want more than that, then you need to have a QRZ account. There's not much I can do about that.
Right. So when I type in a call sign, it does do the lookup, and depending upon which one you have set up, it'll look up that, and it does have distance to where the location is. It brought up Cheryl's there, and also brought up the was it the hams of interest list. So like Cheryl says, she's in Linux in the Ham Shack, so I already know that going into here. And I have because I just happen to be in CW mode on my on my rig, and this is connected with rig control, so it thinks I'm on 20 meters CW right now. So I have the option to send a 599 both ways, or I can type in. So it already has a defaulted in, and so
I can. There's a couple of nice little features that are not obvious unless somebody tells you. For example, if you stop at one of the sent or received reports and just put the number 5 and press space will move you between the fields.
Oh, okay.
And so if you stop there and put a 5, it will fill the report for you.
There's a 5
with
5
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you put a 4, it'll give you a 449. I think is the. So it'll do.
Oh, okay.
Wherever we can help, we do it.
Yeah.
Or if you delete it, it'll go back to the default 559. And if you want to change your default, you can go into the settings, and there's a setting for that.
That's interesting.
The call sign field is also multi-purpose commands. So if you clear the call sign, if you have a call sign, you have to delete it. But if you type, for example, 7200 and press enter, it should set your radio to 7200 and LSB.
Actually, set it to 7199.3. It's interesting.
That's a good. We're gonna have to figure out why that's the case.
Oh yeah, it's not the same on 10 meter or 30 meters either. Let's try 28 400. Yeah, 28399.3.
It's setting it. I wonder if the FL rig has some RIT or setting that offsets where it lands. I don't know.
When I was clicking the spots, it definitely wasn't. It was going right to the spot. But definitely when you're typing it in, interesting.
You can type frequencies there and quickly jump around. You can type modes too, and it'll change.
So let's see here. It's reading the frequency out, right? This happens if I just type it up here where it has that. Will it go there? No, it definitely will not go to 10 400. That's interesting.
And I don't know if it'll work well with FLRG right now, but if you type, for example, 7050 or 7030 or something like that, it will get you to that frequency, but also change the mode to CW.
What it thinks the closest mode is, right? Yeah.
It uses the band plan information. We have it depends. If you put your call sign as a French call sign, then it will use the European band plan. If you put your call sign as an American call sign, it will use the American band plan and so on.
Well, it seems to be fine on CW. It might not like the fact that the rig is weird. Because like when I do 7030, it goes right to 7030. I mean, when I go to 7074, I would expect it to go to digital mode, but it obviously is staying at CW. So 14074.
Yeah, I wonder if FLDG or FLRig is fighting with the changes we're sending to it, and it's trying to set its own mode.
Yeah, because it's sort of abstracted too when you use FLRig, because it doesn't really know what the end rig is.
Yeah.
So that could be weird as well. Interesting. Oh, well, we don't have to troubleshoot it here.
Leave it to Bill to break it,
Yeah. No, it's interesting to kind of just look at it live, because I love new apps, and I love logging apps. I did try setting up a contest too in here, because I was always thinking about doing like NA1QP or NAQP, right? So if I did that, there's one coming up, right? NAQP. Oh, I have to enable it first. So we'll enable that, and then NAQP. Oh, now it's not coming up.
The I haven't tested HaLo with contest.
Yeah.
PoLo I've used it for contesting, including a couple of serious entrants for New York QSO Party and the New England QSO Party, where we logged over 1,000 QSOs, multi-station, and like at rates of like I logged 350 QSO per hour on my phone with my thumbs.
Nice.
So HaLo is going to be even more capable, but we haven't tested the contest support that heavily yet. So I do not advise anybody to go contesting with HaLo this weekend.
Yeah, I know for like a couple of the the creature comforts that I'm used to in logging, because I use not 1mm, and in the old days I used to use N1mm, is being able to clear the call sign out quickly with a keyboard command, and obviously I don't think there's any of that stuff built in yet.
There's some. If you press escape, it should clear it. But we want to add we want to add a full key map editing, and a way for people to bring their favorite key map styles. So if you're
I'm used to Control W for wipe.
Yeah, if you're used to that, then the idea is that there should be an easy setting that says, bring me the keys I'm used to from this app or that app, and that'll be there to make it easy.
And are you going to also put in handling for doing like CW?
Yes, keying, all of the things.
All the things.
So right now, I was focusing on getting HaLo to have feature parity with the old portable logger. At the same time, I'm building a much stronger and deeper framework to build on top of. That has not yet been. I haven't used it to the full advantage I want to, as we build.
Right.
The layout, for example, you see there is going to be fully customizable. In fact, do you see a little icon on your top right now? You probably don't. But if you type Command K, type Command K or Control K and layout. Or LAY, it should probably offer you the layouts.
Layouts customization on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Press enter, and that should reveal that icon on the top right. No?
Not here. Let's just make sure. Layouts. Oh, no. I have the only ability to turn it off. I don't see it. But again, I'm in Hyperland. But let me try it in the web browser here. We'll just do it here. Just layouts are on. And no, I mean, I just see the gear icon.
No, you got to be in a logging screen.
Oh, in a logging screen. Sorry.
It's not yet customizable, but it will be. But right now, only.
Well, let me get into a logging screen here. And, okay, I do not see it on the Hyperland version, but I did see it on the web version. I see the little, little like blocky square thing. Yes.
Yeah. So if you press there.
Yep.
It'll let you customize the layout and move things around, reorder the tabs. There's a plus sign button there.
Yep.
You can press there and select the clock, for example.
Oh, nice. Yep.
And if you go on the clock, the clock itself has a little menu button like the blocks with a pencil.
Yep.
And there you have a panel settings, and you can change it to like analog clock.
Oh, nice. Yep.
And you can
Swiss
put it in the bottom half.
Cool.
you can drag it to be at the bottom half below the tab, so it's always visible. So you can customize the screen.
Yeah.
We have yet to build enough widgets to make it interesting, but there's a widget that lets you bring in a web page. So if you want to have your favorite spotting site or your favorite solar weather, you can put it there in a web page.
Yes. That looks really
good. And that's just the start of where we want to take this. You can the easiest way I can explain it is I'm going after Node Red. I'm going after N1MM. I'm going after N3FJP. I'm going after Ham Radio the locks and like all I'm not happy with any of the solutions, and I want to build a better solution for myself that covers all those use cases. So HaLo is being built from the ground up to enable those things. Like you can build your
Interesting.
station control dashboard in HaLo and customize it exactly how you want it, and have it next to your contest logger that runs on all the platforms, and it runs the same way on the web as it does on your desktop on Linux. So you can pull it on your phone and see the same contest you're logging at on the desktop and use it from there. Um,
Interesting.
it's I'm very proud of where this is going and where we've landed so far.
Yeah, it's very visually eye pleasing, and I do like the fact that it seems mostly intuitive on how things should work. So you're not like
Yeah,
trying to
and
like figure that out.
I'm trying to make it to feel simple and make it easy to use for simple purposes,
Yeah.
but also powerful if you start finding out the ways to customize it and extend it to fit what you want it to do. So it's meant to be like easy to use, but at the same time enable even the hardest combinations of requirements. Um, and I mean it's a challenge. It's not easy to nail that. Every now and then I make mistakes and it doesn't perfectly fit that philosophy, but it's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. Well, see now, like my rig control switching is going to the right frequency. That's kind of funny.
Hmm.
7200. Let's try it one more time. I love testing this on the fly. Yeah, now it's working. That's weird. Interesting.
You're gonna have to keep an eye on that for you said FL rig, right?
Yeah, I was using FL rig, and I was just trying to click through to the spots and then using those to switch the frequency, and that worked fine. But then ever since I used a spot, now I can't get it to not be on the right frequency.
I wonder if it was sometimes if you use one of the digital modes, it has like an offset for the digital carrier or something like that.
Yeah,
That
and
might be
like the rig itself is kind of weird with that too. So,
yeah.
and the CW mode is weird too because it does have an upper and lower on the CW. I don't think it has like a default because it's just weird. It's a weird
Yeah.
setup. Anyway, oh, I just got it to do it there on CW. Switching to CW, it did 7010. It went to 7010.70. That's interesting. 7020. Let's see if I can get it to 7200 one more time. Yeah, now it's off again. So yeah, I must get in a weird state, switching
Yeah.
between modes occasionally. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
right now it doesn't have any features for your regular home desktop logging. It's still centered around the idea of operations for like POTA, but we're working on that other half of the problem, which is your log management, the place where you have your entire log and lets you filter things and search things and tell you help you hunt for things, tell you which DXCC entities you have not worked or which parts you haven't worked if that's what you're chasing. That's what we're working on right now, on getting cat control in place and improved and working smoothly and getting the non-operation, the desktop logging part of the logging uh, set of problems solved too.
Yeah.
So it's if you open it now and you where do I dump my big ADIF file? It doesn't have that yet. It will in a matter of a couple of weeks.
So at that point, you can do imports and everything else.
Yeah, and the idea is that you will dump all your ADIF files and we'll try to figure out the duplicates and the combine information because you might have an ADIF from QRZ that lost all your POTA activation information, but you have your POTA ADIFs that have the right park references, but not the data that QRZ adds. And we're going to try to combine it all into a single source of truth and then help you send that to QRZ, send it to Logbook of the World, do all the log management stuff in one place.
Yeah. So Cheryl, I know you've been really quiet because I've been hammering them here. Did you? Because you installed this as well and kind of played around with it a little bit. Did you have any questions that you came up with, or anything you ran into that you thought was of interest?
No, I don't think so. I didn't have very long to play with it, regretfully, because I had other things going on today, and regretfully I couldn't actually put it to the real test because radio's in Russ's office and I'm in my office and there's no microphone in Russ's office. So so I didn't get a chance to actually play with it real time, but I did get a chance to play with it just kind of on the fly,
Yeah.
But it looked good. So that's all I really have to say about it because I didn't get to put it to practical use. So
And one of the things I'm trying is I also want to have a a ham app or a series of apps that doesn't look like it was created around Windows 98 and Visual Basic 4.
Standard WinForms controls.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think that it's been a while since those days, and we deserve a little bit more modern UIs. Um, and there's a few people doing nicer apps these days. But yeah, the Ham world software has been stuck in that old style for too long. And I call it, but with all the love and respect, I call it electrical engineering user interface design,
Mhm.
in which they basically say, I mean, I need to be able to change this setting, and I need to be able to do this feature. These 4 buttons let me do it. What's the problem? It's done. Yes, but we can do better than that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like you're accomplishing it because I do like the looks of this. I like the speed. It's definitely fast and responsive. Even in the web browser, it's fast and responsive. Dart is literally made for this kind of use case. So
Yeah.
I mean, this is why.
I was surprised at how well the web version runs.
Yeah.
And it might not run well on like the like low performance devices, but the native version does. I still giggle every time I think that this is running SQLite on the browser. That it's that part is insane. The I've been doing web development for over 30 years, and yeah, I started with just plain HTML and spacer GIFs, and to think that now you're running like
Full ACID
compiled
compliance
binaries.
database running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, instead of like
It's
SQL Express or
it's a
some
bit
other
crazy. I mean,
proprietary thing. Yeah.
you could be running Postgres
Mhm.
if you wanted at this point.
Yeah.
It's crazy where we've gotten.
Yeah. If you don't mind, shipping everything across the wire, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, why does a page take forever to load? Oh, well, you just have to download a gig worth of
you have.
binaries. It's fine.
Yes. Well,
Your
you
browser will do
wanted to
it.
run this on your browser? This is the price you have to pay.
Absolutely. Love modern development. It's great. Well, let's start putting a bow on this. So this is available. You said it was already visible links to this on the ham2k.net website. So
Ham2K.com
okay.
will show you the that's the main landing page, and the first thing on that page will give you links to the downloads. Those are available right now. Buyer beware, it's an alpha version. It's still not solid, but it's improving very quickly. So download it, play with it, and if you find something's missing, get in touch with us. That's the best thing you can do. Go to our Discord. There's also the links to all those things are also on the Ham2K page. But also give us a week or two and check it again, because there's a good chance it'll be implemented.
And people can find ways to help support Ham2K and HaLo here on the ham2k.com/contribute page.
So I'll talk about that a bit, because it's very important to me now, because that's how I'm going to be making my living. And when your living is based on a free and open source app, the generosity of your users is all you can count on. I like to say that my business model is I want to make software that causes people to feel happy to give me money. I want people to send me money because they want to, and it makes them happy, not because they have to in order to install something, or so but I do need people to send me money. So if you want to support what we're doing, if you want to see this go further, go there and click on the contribute links at the bottom. Subscribe to the Cloud Sync service if you're using PoLo in the app right now. That's the only service. There's a free tier that gives you all the features except that it's slower to kind of like not kill the servers. And the paid version of the sync is $25 a year, plus minus the cents. It's $24.99 because that's what Apple and Google wants you to use as prices. The subscribe to that, send money, send whiskey. I'll take whiskey. I'm good on QRZ, as they said. Although the address there is a PO box that will not accept whiskey. Send me an email if you want to send whiskey. And I mean, I'm also going to all the conventions. I'm going to the Ham Exposition later this week. I'm going to Huntsville next week. I'll be at Dayton. I'll be at Hamcation next year for sure. I love giving talks to clubs over Zoom, or if they're not far from me, I'll go travel. I'm a professional amateur now, and I need to figure out how to get people to feel happy and send me money.
Right. Like the podcast here, it's a value for value thing. And if you experience value out of using Ham2K and its many applications or support services, you should, take that same value and transact it back with either time, talent, or treasure. Treasure preferably, right? And for the real geeks and system nerds out there, which there are many, so what kind of infrastructure is supporting this? Is this on DigitalOcean? Is this on AWS?
It's Fly.io.
Okay.
I've been all in part for the challenge of learning new. I've been avoiding using AWS services for a while, if only to have more choices and have more options out there. Fly.io is a good hosting service, containerized and all of that. It's a Ruby on Rails backend application using Postgres database. I'm running it with two fallback database servers, so it's not the cheap setup. I'm not running it in a $10 DigitalOcean droplet. I'm taking data loss very seriously. Like the worst thing that can happen is going to a park, doing an activation, and then losing that and not be able to log it and report it to POTA. So the app has a bunch of backup features. It does the cloud backup. The cloud backup is running on redundant data servers. I was thinking the other day about writing a second backup servers with the same API, but no logic, no nothing. Just writing to a dumb database in case the app cannot reach the first servers for some reason. It'll contact the second one and store the data there, just in case something happens and you need to recover it. Like, I'm taking that part very seriously. I want to make sure that no one loses a single queue because of a problem with the apps or the servers.
And for those who know, like they provide the WAF as well for the web application firewalls, are using like Cloudflare for that or something else, or they have their built-in one.
I'm using a lot of Cloudflare services these days too.
Okay, yeah. But like when the internet goes down, it will go down too, right?
So. I mean, that's the thing. Is like I love having the home lab and running my own servers here and all of that, but I don't want to. I know it's very likely I will mess something up and break it, and I don't want your queues to be on my back in that case.
Right.
There are scenarios in which the SHTF cases in which entire data centers are lost. If that happens, I'd rather be in the hands of the guys running those than in my hands.
Yes.
But it happens sometimes that these services go down. So it's
yes. It's something we have to live with these days, and many people experience it even more and more nowadays. We've used everything personally, from like Imperva to Cloudflare, and none of them are perfect, but they all provide a level of security that's important for domain people that own domains and own web applications sitting under domains. So it's one of those things that we all have to abide by and live with. So no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That gives everybody a lot of kind of backroom information that they're probably interested in. And I can't think of anything specific that we haven't covered with this. Did you have anything, Cheryl, to add or question?
No, I don't think so. I think you've covered everything.
And we always open this up to you to ask, to answer, or say anything that we haven't covered that you think that the audience would want to know at this point. Just go ahead and go over that now, Sebastian.
I mean, there's something I like to give talks on portable operations and PoLo and all of that. And the main thing I want people to leave the talk with is the idea that they should be trying new applications all the time. There's a lot of people who say, I'm been using this logger, it works for me, why would I try to change? Don't. Like, try other loggers, try mine, try the others, and you will find that things might be better than what you're using right now. So be open to change. Consider the fact that maybe logging on your phone, it could be fun, even if you think that it's a horrible idea. Give it a shot. Try those things. I mean, that's kind of like the whole point of amateur radio, to be open to trying new things and experimenting. So do it with your software too. That's the main lesson I want to, or main goal I want people to end up with.
Yeah, experiment, right? That's what we do. Experiment with other loggers and other applications, and yeah, I know for sure. I have gone through so many loggers over the years, and yeah, I'll probably continue to look through more and more logging applications over the next few thousand years that I'm part of this hobby and everything else. Well,
I hope you're not relying on ADIF as the way to go from logger to logger. But let's not get started on that. I can spend the whole evening talking on that matter.
It sort of works, but then definitely when you're talking about handling confirmations and stuff like that, it gets a little wigged out, and it's not as pretty. So you don't want to do like your main logger too often, and when you do, you need to be cognizant of the fact that all of your confirmations are kind of lost in that process and stuff like that. So yeah, it does get a little ugly, but thankfully to services like Logbook of the World and other syncing services, that they'll generally reject your stupidity for doing things like losing the fact that you've already synced all of these contacts and they've already been confirmed. So
yeah.
But anyway, Sebastian, thank you so much for joining us tonight and talking to us about HaLo Next and the next evolution of your projects and your future economic situation there with kind of going out and making this your livelihood. And I hope everyone appreciates that, and that this is a passion project that I know you've had, because we talked to you last May about it when PoLo came out, and this looks definitely like you're investing a lot of yourself into this application, and I hope people try it out and give you feedback, and perhaps even subscribe into some of the services that you provide.
I can't say it better. That's exactly it.
Well, thank you very much. And we're going to go and do our announcements and feedback. You're welcome to kind of hang out and listen, or if you want to disconnect, you can do that. It's up to you. You can join us at any time throughout the conversation. So we'll let Cheryl kind of go into the announcements.
All right. So, as always, we need help supporting the show. You can support us via Patreon, PayPal, merch, sharing the podcast on social media, and rating us in your podcast application. And as always, we need feedback. We need comments. We need questions. We need show topic ideas. So please give us all your ideas. And finally, we are going to have a memorial service for Russ, A5TUX, obviously, at our home in Mount Vernon, Missouri on November 1st, 2026. Everyone is welcome. There is a Facebook event page set up for that, and that information will be in the show notes. And of course, any comments, questions, etc. you've got, send them to info@lhspodcast.info. and we did not have any feedback this week. And for our subscribers and Patreons, I believe the only one we had was on Facebook, and that was David Dearmo. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. And for our live show participants, we had Mike K6GTE.
And yeah, I was trying to catch up, but you did it so fast.
Are you?
I was trying to see, is like, did we have anybody join us on? So I didn't see any on X. I'm looking on Mastodon, and I see the last one was Radiant Black. Did I mention that one last time? Radiant Black. Interesting. Well, yeah. Mastodon's a weird service. So yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm in the right account. Interesting. So yeah, Radiant Black joined us from social TCHNCSDE, so from Germany. So welcome and thank you for listening and joining us in Mastodon there. And I also have Paddling Penguin. I didn't see that one either last month, but that should have been, or last episode, that should have been there. Nothing new there, and I didn't get any emails from our PayPal or Patreon account that said any differences with those numbers. So I think we are good to go with all of that. And anything else I can think of? Let's look at, I know we just got a joiner on the Discord server since last time. So we had P's as the last time. So we had Gigahertz and Octane had joined us this week, and Kevin W8NI have joined us on Discord. So thank you for joining there, and we'll get you into the show notes so you're listed with the podcast episode. And I think that's it. I've now caught up with the stuff I was supposed to do before the podcast.
But you're busy watching YouTube videos like I was.
Yes, I was. Sorry. Yeah, Beards Meat Foods was really good.
Alrighty then. So are we done?
I believe we're done.
All right then. Well, I guess that means that brings us down to the end of the show. Thanks to everyone for being here and supporting us by listening to episode 625. We'll catch you next time with our 142nd Weekender episode. For us, K5TUX, I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Sebastián KI2D.
And I'm Bill, NE4RD 73, and we'll see you next time.
73.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Linux in the Ham Shack. LHS is a community-sponsored podcast. Live recordings are Sunday nights at 8 o'clock Central Time. Our homepage can be found at lhspodcast.info. You can support the podcast via Patreon at patreon.com/LHS podcast. We're also on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Mastodon. Contact us via email at info@lhspodcast.info or via voicemail at 190954776469. That's 1909 LHS show. We also have merch. So until next we meet, remember to always heed your hedonism.